A group of opposition activists lodged complaints of the Human Rights Commission today with regard to the incident which took place at the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone recently.
The chairman of the Intercompany Employees Union, Vasanta Samarasinghe, officially lodged a complaint with the Human Rights Commission today with regard to the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone incident.
We handed over 22 petitions to the Human Rights Commission with regard to the incident which occurred at the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone to commence legal proceedings, as the human rights of those who were injured in the barbaric assault and those who died in the shooting were violated. Justice should be granted to the people who were injured. Compensation should also be provided to them.
Thereafter, a group of opposition members, including members of the United National Party, lodged complaints with regard to the Katunayaka incident at the Commission.
Over 40,000 employees at the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone are terrified. They have been subjected to police suppression. They have been subjected to the vengeance of individuals and have also been abducted. All political parties and the leaders of trade unions have joined hands to protect their trade unions and democratic rights.
News First's very own Shami Razuldin was adjudged as one of the 2 top young HR personalities of the year during the 2-day National HR Conference organised by the Institute of Personal Management, which got underway in Colombo yesterday. We'll have the details of this story coming up in just a bit.
Thomas Langer, that's the professor of Human Resources Management and the Dean, the Leadership and Management at the Curtin Business School.
A so-called awareness campaign was held today as well for principals and teachers, ostensibly to create awareness about the education policies and development plans of the Education Minister in the Southern Province. It is mandatory that education in the provinces should be carried out based on the policies drafted by the National Education Commission, fulfilling the requirements of the Linear Ministry. Principals and teachers of all schools in the Alpati Education Division attended the meeting that was held at the Alpati Ananda Vidyalaya by closing the schools at 12 noon today. Action TV revealed yesterday that the administrative officer of the Alpati Zonal Education Office had instructed school principals in writing to close down all schools by 12 noon today. The letter that was sent to principals also noted that the money that is required for transportation to attend this meeting, which was made compulsory for principals and teachers, should be borne by the funds of the respective school development societies. These series of meetings organized for principals and teachers to create awareness about education policies and development plans of the Southern Province Education Minister by closing down schools and utilizing the money of school development societies was held on the 13th of this month, covering the Akmeeman Education Zone. It was on Monday that these series of meetings commenced covering the Alpati Education Zone. The schools which come under the purview of these 2 education zones are situated in the Pradesh Sabha areas of Akmeeman and Alpati. The local government elections for the Akmeeman and Alpati Pradesh Sabhas will be held on the 23rd of July. When Action TV inquired from the Additional Elections Commissioner W.P. Sumanasida this morning, he said if meetings are organized by politicians using public servants and public assets, it is a violation of election law, as election day for these 2 Pradesh Sabhas are already been announced. He also noted that the Chief Secretary of the Southern Province has been informed in writing by the Election Commissioner's Department to suspend these meetings, which are being organized ostensibly to create awareness. However, the organizing of these meetings, both yesterday as well as today, shows that it is not only some politicians but some officers too have disregarded the directives of the Election Commissioner's Department. In such a backdrop, the Elections Commissioner described the significance of the post held by him, addressing a group of students in Ambalangola this morning.
මැතිවරණ කොමසාරිස් කියන තනතුර විගණාධිපති කියන තනතුර එම තනතුර පත් වෙන තැනැත්තා පත් කරන අයට ඉවත් කළ නොහැකි තනතුරක්.
The post of the Elections Commissioner and the post of Auditor General cannot be even removed by the person who makes the appointments. In every other post, the person who makes the appointment can remove the individual from the post. As an example, despite me having been appointed by the President, the power to remove me from the post lies with the Parliament. That is how significant this post is. Even though I do not consider this post as a jewel, it is considered as a jewel by the country.
The first meeting of the SAARC Intergovernmental Expert Group on Climate Change was held in Colombo today. Director of the SAARC Secretariat Pema Doji, Environment Minister Anura Priyadarshana and delegates from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal and Afghanistan were present at the meeting.
The objective of this meeting was to review the progress made in implementing the 2010 Thimphu Declaration, Dhaka Declaration and the SAARC Ministerial Meeting on Climate Change held in 2008. Furthermore, the experts group is in the process of charting future direction for policymakers and formulating technical guidance for the senior officials meeting to make recommendations to the SAARC Ministerial Meeting on Climate Change.
Our region is beset with many challenges. In this regard, the member states of SAARC have taken a number of initiatives. The SAARC Environmental Action Plan, the Dhaka Declaration and SAARC Action Plan on Climate Change, the Comprehensive Framework on Disaster Management, the Thimphu Statement on Climate Change, and the SAARC Convention on Cooperation on Environment are some of the most significant initiatives to strengthen regional cooperation.
Climate change related incidents are making severe impacts on various economic sectors such as agriculture, industry, tourism, fisheries, etc. It also impacts upon social welfare sectors such as health through frequent occurrence of vector-borne diseases and also contributes to increasing disaster risks. Therefore, urgent actions are needed to be taken to enhance the resilience of my country as well as SAARC region in this regard.
A program aimed at teaching the Korean language to the youth in the Nuwara district was initiated recently. The program is being implemented under the patronage of the Ministry of Foreign Employment Promotion and Welfare.
It is compulsory to pass the Korean language proficiency test in order to obtain employment opportunities in Korea. This program has been implemented in order to fulfill the requirements of the youth in Nuwara. The inaugural ceremony in this regard was held under the patronage of Subject Minister Deran Perera and General Secretary of the Citizens Front, J.C. Ranga.
When we compare the accident rate of those who sat for the Korean language proficiency test and left for Korea against those who didn't, the percentage stands at a mere 1%. How much do you exert yourself to pass the GC ordinary level and advanced level examination, even the university exams? You have to try even harder to go to Korea. You sit for the ordinary level, advanced level and university entrance examinations in order to develop your knowledge and to secure a job. But here you already have a job waiting for you in a foreign country. A Korean job, but you have to pass this exam. During the early days, I sent an individual to Korea. There were no exams in those days. You only had to go. There were such facilities even in those days. It is not easy for these individuals to sit for exams.
Minister of Labour and Labour Relations Gamini Lokuge says that it is very important to ensure industrial harmony between the employer and trade unions. The minister made this comment at a function held in Colombo yesterday.
The two-day National HR Conference organised by the Institute of Personnel Management got underway in Colombo yesterday. The chief guest at the occasion was Minister of Labour and Labour Relations Gamini Lokuge.
Therefore, it is very important to ensure that industrial harmony between the employer and the trade union on behalf of the employees is always maintained. The Ministry of Labour and Labour Relations play a very vital role in the process. Our scope is providing labour regulatory governance structure in Sri Lanka as per the ILO regulation and maintain industrial harmony on the employer-employee trade union relation with protecting their legal rights, supporting industries to achieve their business goals.
Meanwhile, Manager English News at News First, Shamir Rasuldin, was adjudged as one of the two top young HR personalities of the year during yesterday's conference.
First round, let's congratulate Mr. Shamir Rasuldin, the winner of the Young HR Minds, Thomas Langer.
He was selected following a competition organised by the Young Members Forum of IBM, and Rasuldin received the award for his presentation on how News First used its human resources as the main source of strength during the last 3 years to brave economic challenges.
The government has decided to amend laws so as to enable the construction of tourist hotels in close proximity to forest reserves. Deputy Minister of Economic Development Lakshman Yapa Abhiwadana made this statement at a media briefing held today.
The media briefing was convened in Colombo today to create awareness about the land allocations that have been given to foreign investors to construct tourist hotels in the country.
We are holding discussions with the wildlife authorities to amend the law to allow the construction of hotels in the buffer zone. Tourists are in favour of an eco-friendly environment. They like to stay in the forest. According to the existing law, nothing could be done at least up to a distance of 500 metres from the buffer zone. However, such laws are not there in other countries. We are ready to change the old laws and to implement this in an ethical manner.